A single-engine plane that climbs like a jet and cruises like a dream. Here's why the Lancair Evolution is irresistible. The Lancair Evolution is a turbine gem that combines jet-like speed, pressurized comfort, and experimental innovation. Here's why it stands out. And here's where it gets interesting. Evolution didn't just appear out of nowhere. This plane started its life under the Lancair name, a company that's been obsessed with one thing: speed. Forget plush cabins or cup holders for everyone. Lancair built planes to get you somewhere fast. Fast, fast, fast. If you've seen the Lancair 360 or the 4P, you know what I'm talking about. Sleek lines, aggressive performance, and planes that almost dare you to push them. And the Evolution? It's the crown jewel. The biggest, the fastest, and yes, the priciest aircraft to come out of that lineup. But the story gets messier. Over the years, Lancair ran into struggles, selling off assets and models. The Evolution changed hands, eventually landing under Evolution Aircraft. And with each transition, the plane's future hung in the balance. Would it survive? Would parts still be available? But through all the ownership shifts, the Evolution kept its promise, a single-engine turbine that feels like a mini-jet. So when you hear Lancair Evolution, think Lineage, think speed, think a plane that grew up fast and refused to slow down. Now here's the twist that not a lot of people talk about. While the original Evolution was a pure turbine beast, the new owners saw room to expand. Enter the Piston version. This isn't a compromise, it's an option. The Piston Evolution still hits over 200 knots, cruising at 250 if you push it. It runs on the Lycoming IE engine with a FADEC system, which basically means modern, reliable, and more affordable than the turbine setup. For pilots who aren't ready to dive into full turbine territory, this gives you a taste of high-performance flight without jumping straight into the deep end. It's like getting the thrill of the Evolution, but with a slightly gentler wallet hit. And honestly, for a plane that still turns heads on the runway and climbs like it's got a secret jet engine hidden inside, it's a pretty sweet deal. Wait, you're watching right now but not subscribed to the channel. Go ahead and smash that subscribe button so we can move on with the video. You did. Okay, cool. Now back to the planes.
Could be. He's doing a slow takeoff that way.
Yeah.
Well, if you had like a 200-mile...
And this is the part that really blows minds. The Evolution doesn't just look fast, it flies fast. At the heart of this beast is a Pratt Whitney PT-6A engine pumping out 750 horsepower. Yeah, you heard that right. 750. Single engine, mind you. And the way it climbs, forget waiting around. This thing punches up at 4,000 feet per minute. That's jet territory, not a prop plane you'd expect to see buzzing above small airstrips. Cruise speed is another jaw-dropper. Push the throttle, and you're slicing through the sky at 300 knots. But if you ease up and want to save some fuel, An eco-cruise of 240 to 250 knots keeps you flying fast without guzzling gas like a jet fighter. And speaking of fuel, at full power, you're looking at about 37 gallons per hour of Jet A. Dial it back and go slower, and you're down to 17 to 18 gallons per hour. Basically half the burn for half the speed. For a plane this size, that's impressive. Safety? Evolution isn't just fast, it's smart. Stall speed sits at a safe 61 knots. And the payload? Over 1,800 pounds, which means even with full tanks, you can still pack 4 adults and head 1,000 miles across the country. That's cross-country capability in a single-engine plane that climbs like a rocket. Inside, it's pressurized, a rarity for single-engine aircraft, which keeps high-altitude flights comfortable and headache-free. The cabin features side-stick controls, freeing up space and making the interior feel surprisingly roomy. And because it's experimental, pilots get flexibility. They can install Garmin or their preferred avionics setup without being locked into one system. It's a rare combo of raw performance and pilot-friendly customization. So when you see this plane on the runway, remember, it's not just about speed, it's about efficiency, safety, and power that feels almost unfair for a single-engine prop. This isn't your dad's old Cessna. This is a plane built to make you grin every time you push the throttle. But it's not just what's under the cowling that wows. It's the way Evolution looks and feels. Sleek, aerodynamic, and almost aggressive in stance, the exterior lines make it clear this plane isn't here to cruise casually. It's here to dominate the sky. Inside, 4 seats might sound small, but every inch feels deliberate. Cozy, yes, but clever. The side stick controls free-up room, letting the cabin breathe a little more than you'd expect from a plane this compact. It's tight, but not claustrophobic, like every inch has a purpose without wasting space. And here's the kicker. Compare it to a Cirrus. Cirrus thinks comfort first. Plush seats, extra cabin space, and a smooth ride. Evolution? Speed is king. You sacrifice a little cushion for raw performance, and in return, you get a plane that climbs like a jet, cruises at insane speeds, and still carries 4 adults across a continent. It's the trade-off pilots make when thrill outweighs pampering. Every line, every curve, every interior choice screams one thing: efficiency and performance. You look at it and think, yeah, this is built for people who want to fly, not just ride. And now let's talk about the numbers, because here's where it gets really interesting. The Evolution doesn't just perform like a jet, it costs like a fraction of one. A new build will set you back between $1.4 and $1.6 million. For the kind of speed, climb, and payload you're getting, that's almost absurdly good value. Compare that to other single-engine turboprops on the market. A used TBM? Easily $3 million. Piper M500 or M600? Also creeping around $3 million. And here's the kicker. Those planes cruise at speeds similar to the Evolution, but you're paying double. Double. And yet the Evolution gives you nearly the same jet-like performance for half the cost. This is why the plane is so underappreciated. It's not flashy in the way big certified aircraft brands are. It doesn't have a marketing team pushing it, or a luxury interior designed to woo CEOs. But if you're a pilot who wants raw performance, efficiency, and a plane that can climb, cruise, and travel across the country without breaking the bank, the Evolution is a hidden gem. It's a performance bargain, the kind that makes you scratch your head and wonder why everyone isn't talking about it. So here's the deal. If you're comparing aeroplanes, the Evolution doesn't just compete, it beats the competition on performance per dollar. And for pilots who care more about speed and capability than brand name or glossy brochures, this plane is a no-brainer. And this is where you see why pilots fall in love. The Evolution isn't just fast on paper, it feels fast. Jet-like climb rates, insane cruise speeds, and that punch off the runway make it thrilling to fly every time you taxi out. The pressurized cabin keeps high-altitude flights smooth and comfortable, so you're not sweating it at 25,000 feet. The low stall speed adds peace of mind, letting pilots focus on flying rather than fretting about safety margins. Payload flexibility? Check. With room for 4 adults and fuel to cross a continent, this plane doesn't just scream speed. It carries you and your passengers across long trips efficiently, and the performance matches or even exceeds some light jets. That's right, a single-engine turboprop keeping pace with multi-million-dollar jets. Put it all together: speed, efficiency, comfort at altitude, safety, and payload flexibility. Evolution doesn't just impress, it delivers. Pilots love it because it's rare, capable, and uncompromising. And every time you push the throttle, it reminds you why this plane is worth the hype, even if it hasn't got all the attention it deserves. But here's the reality check. No plane is perfect, and Evolution comes with a few headaches you need to know about. First up, the company itself. Over the years, Evolution has switched hands multiple times. Each ownership change brought uncertainty, financial struggles, and questions about the plan's future. For some pilots, that's enough to pause before signing on. Availability is another snag. Because this is an experimental aircraft, you can't just walk into a dealership and grab one. Building a new Evolution takes time. Parts aren't always easy to come by, and ready-to-fly options are limited. If you're impatient or want instant access, this plan might test your patience. Insurance? That's a tricky one too. The experimental label doesn't help much. Premiums are higher, and only a handful of carriers are willing to cover it. You can get insured, but it's a process. No surprise there in the aviation world. Design compromises also matter. The plane has only one left side door. That's fine for a solo pilot, but if you're carrying passengers regularly, it can be awkward. And getting into the cockpit requires a climb up, something small but noticeable every time you board. Lastly, being experimental means you need to be cautious. Building your own plane or buying a used one requires trust in the build quality, in the maintenance, and in the aircraft's history. One mistake or a shortcut, and that performance could come at a cost. So yes, the Evolution is brilliant, but it demands attention, patience, and a careful approach. It's not for everyone. Here's where things start looking up. To address some of these challenges, Evolution Aircraft partnered with JMBB Aircraft in Europe. This isn't just a footnote, it's a game changer. With factory-built Evolutions available through JMBB, pilots now have access to a more reliable, high-quality plane without worrying about every nut and bolt. This partnership expands availability, gives the plane credibility in a market that's often skeptical of experimental builds, and makes it easier for international buyers to get their hands on one. For pilots who want the Evolution experience without the headaches of sourcing parts or worrying about build quality, this is huge. And it doesn't stop there. With the combined reach of Evolution and JMBB, there's potential for wider adoption in general aviation. More planes in the sky mean more visibility, more shared experiences, And perhaps finally the recognition this turbine gem deserves. It's a smart move, one that could turn the Evolution from a niche favorite into a more mainstream contender for pilots craving jet-like performance in a single-engine turboprop. And here's where Evolution really shows its edge. Take a Cirrus jet, for example. Cirrus is built for comfort, plush seats, a smooth ride, and long-distance reliability. But the price? And the speed? Not quite in the same league. The Evolution flips that script. Faster, more capable, and yes, experimental. You're giving up a little cushion for raw performance, and for many pilots, that trade is worth every knot of airspeed. Now compare it to other turboprops like the TBM or Piper M500/M600. Evolution doesn't just keep up, it often surpasses them. Cruise speeds are on par or better. Climb rates rival some light jets. And the best part? The cost is a fraction of the price. For pilots looking to enter the turbine world without shelling out jet money, this plane is a dream. It's a perfect stepping stone. A plane that challenges your skills, thrills you on takeoff, and still makes practical sense for cross-country trips. And for anyone who's ever dreamt of feeling jet-like performance in a single-engine aircraft, this is as close as it gets without the six-figure price tag every year. Here's the part that hits home. I first heard about Evolution back in 2016 as a student pilot. Even then, it felt like the holy grail of single-engine turbines, a plane small enough to handle solo, but with enough power to make you feel like you're flying a jet. There's an undeniable thrill to climbing into the cockpit, knowing you're about to punch through the sky at hundreds of knots. It's compact, it's agile, and it rewards every twist of the throttle. For many pilots, this is the ultimate stepping stone into turbine or light jet territory. A taste of raw performance without committing to a multi-million-dollar jet. And I promise, very soon I'll be checking one out in person to see the interior for myself. Because all the specs and Evolution are amazing, but nothing beats feeling it firsthand. Looking ahead, Evolution's partnership with JMBB aircraft could change the game. Factory-built options make it more accessible, reliable, and visible. As more pilots discover it, expect adoption to grow in the experimental turbine community. This plane has the potential to go from a niche gem to a serious contender for anyone wanting jet-like performance without the jet's price. And for pilots craving thrill, efficiency, and capability in one aircraft, the future looks bright. If you want a deeper dive, check out Bob Mears' comparison video of the Evolution versus the Cirrus. It's a great way to see performance side by side. And for anyone serious about owning or building one, factory-built options are worth exploring. Don't settle for guessing on an experimental plane. The Lancair Evolution combines jet-like speed, comfort, and affordability like no other single-engine plane. It thrills, it performs, and it delivers serious value. So, what's your take? Drop it in the comments, hit like and subscribe for more aviation insights, and check my flight school link to start your pilot journey today.